I had the opportunity recently to go visit a correctional facility, Coyote Ridge. Um, I It was the second time that I've gone to a correctional facility, and I have to say that yet again I was inspired by the power of the practice of the inmates in this facility. It's a very stark, austere environment that does not nourish their human side or their spiritual side. They are deprived of human contact, deprived of some of the human experiences that we take for granted out here. They are treated as a number, and the label that's used for them is offenders. And I was surprised to hear over the PA system referring to them as offender so-and-so, number so-and-so, offender so-and-so, number so-and-so. And just after hearing that a couple of times, it began to just wear on me. And I can imagine how it wears on the men who have to listen to this 24/7. Yet at the same time, when we walked into the room where they were gathered waiting for us, I couldn't help but notice the warmth of their reception. I couldn't help but notice the smile and the kindness on their faces. I couldn't help but notice the eagerness with which they were receiving the Dharma, their great thirst and hunger for anything that was uplifting to their spirit, to their humanity. So as the Buddha Day, which is the reason why we were visiting, took place with the ceremonies and the celebration, and we had the chance to listen to the inmates, and we had a chance to connect with them. One of the things, another thing that I noticed was their level of respect for the practice, their level of respect for the practitioners, the level of respect for their own ability to transform. And it occurred to me that in this environment where everything has been taken away from them, their practice is the one thing that cannot be taken away from them. Their practice, their humanity, the transformation that's taken place in their minds, no one can take that away from them. And I can then understand why they see that as so precious. They can see what the practice is doing to their minds, how they're changing, and how they're really able to see their situation and experience their situation differently because of the Dharma tools and the teachings that they've been receiving. So to see that, to me, to be able to see that, it was yet another validation of the power of Dharma practice. That if we invest effort, that regardless of the circumstances and conditions that we find ourselves in, if we invest effort, if we generate conviction in the power of the Dharma to transform our mind, that and create the causes, the effect will follow. So the learning for me in going to this correctional facility, I think was very, the learning was very, very much affirmation of my own practice because of what I saw in them and in their practice. So in that sense, I believe that I received a gift from them in showing me that. of course, in going into the situation, I also had to work a lot with my own nervousness, my own preconceived notions and ideas, and I had to really work to dispel that and find a way to connect with them in a way that was genuine and that really transcended the labels, that really transcended their current situation, because this current situation is just, again, as we've heard time and time again, the result of karma and afflictions is not who they are. And so it really tasked me when I was there to see that, to kind of go back to that teaching, and not just have it remain as an intellectual understanding, but actually try to practice it on that moment and try to really genuinely feel it in my mind. They were so happy to have us there. They shared lunch with us. They had a mandala. We did prayers together, and we had a lot of conversations and a lot of opportunity to talk and exchange ideas. It's something that I'm very grateful that I had the opportunity to do, and that I would do again, because to support their practice is really, for me, an important way to contribute to the well-being, not just of the men there, but also the well-being in general of all societies. So I find that's very dear to my heart. Okay, thank you for listening.